Here's a look at the top half of the Premier League standings. Sunderland still in the top four, level on points with Bournemouth as well as Liverpool. And Liverpool is exactly where I want to focus on. I know you were definitely pleased with that win. You weren't that hopeful going into the weekend, but we've seen Arne Slot make his tweaks. This time he went back to some tried and true combinations. Andy Robertson back in, Dominic Szoboszlai up in that number 10 role. So when we're looking at Liverpool's best 11, it's not looking like it's including the likes of Isak or Wirtz. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'd have to say rightly so. You know, neither Isak or Wirtz have done anything on the field of play to suggest that they should be in front of anybody else. Certainly Isak, when he's had the opportunity, hasn't done what Ekitike has done. Ekitike scored goals. Ekitike has actually been somewhat of a focal point going forward. So if you're Isak, you can't have any complaints. And Wirtz is the same. Wirtz was brought here to unlock defences, connect passes, create, and he hasn't done any of that either. So neither of those two, if they're 100% fit, really deserve to start. I think Robertson has to start at the weekend. I was hoping he would against Villa. He did. And it made the back four not solid, but it made them a little bit more organised. They kind of looked a lot calmer. You know, when Kerkez is there, everybody seems to have the jitters. Nobody's sure what he's going to do. And when you don't know what any of your back four are doing, it upsets everybody. So, yes, it was better, but I'm with Mario. There's still a lot of work to do with that back four. That's the real Achilles heel for Liverpool. They have quality going forward. It's a case of getting to know each other better. It's a case of making better decisions and taking your opportunities. But from a defensive point of view, they've got a long, long way to go.
Now, as I said, Stevie was absolutely bricking it, trying to come up with a positive result for Liverpool this weekend. I think you went for a draw, Stevie, didn't you? But they got the win in this one. But how are you feeling about this matchup? Liverpool against Real Madrid on Tuesday in the Champions League. There's not much to separate the two in terms of picking out a clear favourite by the odds. But Stevie, how important is this game for Liverpool? Looking stressed again.
Again, I said it before the Villa game. For me, it was more about the performance rather than the result. Yes, we all want to win games. But in order for Liverpool to get to where they want to go, it has to be about the performance. Because if they keep producing performances, then they'll start to get victories and then be way more consistent. So I'm kind of going along the same lines with this Real Madrid game. I don't think there's any question. Real Madrid have to be favourites. Whether this is at Anfield or not, they have to be favourites. The way they're playing and the way Liverpool are playing. So again, I'm looking for a performance. I'm looking for the front line to be direct and be exciting and make better decisions, as I said. But I'm also looking for the back four to get together and be as one, be a unit. Because they're going to have to against Real Madrid with the firepower they have got going forward, particularly your man Mbappe. So, yeah, for me, this is about the performance.
Well, I know you say it's about the performance, but I do want a result prediction from you, a scoreline. Come on, Stevie, give me something. Under the lights at Anfield, Champions League.
2-1 Real Madrid.
Oh,
that hurt.
He's been broken. Our
That
Stevie Nicol is broken.
You can only talk about what's in front of you. And what's in front of Liverpool right now in Real Madrid is a team that is way better than them. So, yes, you're at home. You have to try and get some advantage through that. But at the end of the day, you've got to produce when you're on the field. And Liverpool, defensively, have been way, way off producing anything.
Shaka, is that your prediction as well?
I'll probably go 2-0 Real Madrid, in all honesty. And listen, as Stevie said, Real Madrid are favourites for me as well going into this one. Liverpool's big issues defensively, and as much as Robertson's come in and done a job, now all of a sudden you're asking him to play two games in a week, the second of which being Real Madrid. That's a huge ask for somebody who you bought a player in Kerkez to replace this summer. And then going forward, and while we could sit here and talk about Mo Salah getting on the score sheet and that 2-0 result against Aston Villa, the first was a goalkeeping error. Can't describe it any other way. The second came courtesy a huge reflection. So while it was a step in the right direction for Liverpool let's be honest, given where they were, I don't think it's a big enough step for them to deal with the likes of Real Madrid. And then counter that with Real Madrid, who I think have looked better defensively over the last couple of weeks. And I'm kind of looking back at that Atletico Madrid performance and how poor they were defensively. They've improved from there. And up front, and the form that Kylian Mbappe is in, Vinicius Jr. with something, a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Again, given Liverpool's defensive issues, I just feel Real will be too strong for them, even at Anfield.
All right, well, Mario, it seems like you were Liverpool's lucky charm. Stevie Nicol might have to actually finally open his wallet to pay for your flight back there for this one. But what's your, not even, he says he won't even do it for that. But what's your prediction for this game?
I go with Stevie, actually. You know why? Because I saw the team play. I saw the team play, and I felt like Emre is very smart tactically. So with him opening that back line up and inviting, let's say, Virgil pushing up in the middle, it allowed them to play almost 1 against 1. And Watkins was just pulling them to the corner. If you're going to look now, Mbappe is... of course, it's a different kind of level of a striker. He has the speed and the skill. So you don't want no 1 against 1. That's what you have to be careful for. And Bradley is going to have Vinicius against him. If he keeps on bombing forward and going, because a couple of times he went, beyond Salah or going on the inside, you got to be careful. You got to really, really take care of your breathing, because if you attack too much and you get a one-on-one with him, he is waiting for that moment. So I hope they stay together, keep it compact, because they start doing that after 20 minutes. It was a very compact team. Then they got something. But away from that, yeah, Real Madrid is a better side at the moment.
To the top of the Premier League, just a reminder of how things are looking, and it's Arsenal that are all the way at the top. And look at these numbers. I mean, numbers never lie, as they say, and Arsenal are just a fortress right now, especially at the back. So, Stevie, what is the blueprint to beat them? If they are to lose a game, what is it going to take?
It's going to take an impeccable defensive display from the opposition and taking the few opportunities that may come your way, because they don't give many away. And if you don't take it when it comes along, then you ain't beating Arsenal. It's as simple as that. They got plenty of power and pace and ability going forward. They got goals. But defensively, you just got to pray that they turn up one day and they're not quite at it. Because you're not getting anything. Nobody has yet been able to cut this team open, regardless of whether it's making passes, balls in behind, set pieces, you name it. This Arsenal side is better than anybody so far this season that's come up against them. And it doesn't look like changing. So, yeah. How about a big slice of luck?
A big slice of luck, wow.
How about that?
All right, that's that. When your manager tells you that, I don't know how to line up. Mario, speaking about Jurrien Timber now, he's definitely been proving his worth, his versatility as well. Did you see him coming this good, though, especially when he plays out of a natural position?
He was a huge talent at Ajax. So, and both of them, because he's a twin, and him and his brother, and he's very close to Gravenberch. So during the COVID time, I went to watch them train, privately, because I know those guys. And so I watched them train, and I could see something in this kid that was different. First of all, when you train when you don't have to, for me, you're already special. And then he comes to Arsenal, but then he gets that big injury. After an injury, the hardest thing, people sometimes don't realize it, to come back to a certain level and to the level that he is now is extraordinary. And of course, sometimes you might want to play as a center defender, because that's what he was playing for Ajax. But when your opportunity comes to the right, Alex, you got to take what you get. And the way he took it, Ben White was playing that position. So the way he knew he had to compete with someone for that spot. And now he has this opportunity, and he took it. And that's why I think at the back line, everybody got the right speed. And that makes it very difficult to play against. If you look at Calafiori, good speed. You understand? Saliba, Gabriel, and then you got him on the right. I think speed-wise, as a team, defensive line, they all got enough to give you problems that you cannot just outrun them really easily. And I think that's one of their strengths of Arsenal.
Shaka, that backline we know has been protecting David Raya like the Great Wall of Arsenal. But if you're David Raya, you must get bored. You must just want to pitch up a seat and take a little nap during the game or something. Shaka?
No, I don't think so.
That's totally fine.
It's like a good problem, but
If you're David Raya,
give me something. One attempt.
you are absolutely fine with that. And David Raya's role in his team is just to be the eyes in the back of everyone's heads there. And at times, that is almost a little bit more difficult in that when you go to training, you practice saving shots. That's what you do. You're up and you're down, and you make saves and you don't. But then when you come to games, and you can't replicate these match situations on the training ground. Seeing everybody's position, making sure everybody's in the right position. Saliba knows where Gabriel is, and he knows where Timber is, and if Calafiori goes for a little wonder, how you adjust. And just making sure, as good a back four as they are, as understanding as they are, just making sure that they're in the right positions. You can't replicate that in the training ground.
yeah.
But that is as big a part of your job as a goalkeeper as making those big saves. And credit to David Raya. He's part of that. He's part of those statistics.
All right, so I guess he just practices talking to himself, to that back line, what you guys had for breakfast.
Concentration,
Concentration. Stay in the game. Anything to keep him awake, right?